Hi, I am Ayoni, and you are watching the Encore 2020 interview. I am in Houston, Texas. It's Friday, December 18th. My favorite artist right now, I would probably say, is either Muna. I've been listening to a lot of Muna recently. I think they're so dope. So dope. Feeding my heart. Or I would say my friend Jairus, whose music is just really, really passionate and layered, the way that I just love hearing like lush vocal harmonies and amazing writing, amazing, I feel like just like musical instincts. Like I love the way he speaks through music. So I would either say Jairus, Jairus, or Muna, MUNA, are my favorite that I've been bumping recently. My current favorite movie soundtrack, that's a really good question. I don't know if it's my like deepest favorite, but I watched this kind of like documentary movie called Giving Voice, I want to say, and it's about August Wilson's plays. And it's kind of like following up and coming, I think, Black high schoolers, maybe even some are in university, and they're all getting ready to give a presentation at these regional competitions of a scene, a monologue. And I thought the music was just really beautiful. The scoring in the movie was just really lovely, and I really enjoyed the documentary. It's on Netflix. I thought there was just some really great Black actors and actresses that we got to kind of like follow their journey. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. My favorite music magazine? Ooh, easy question. Pewm, PEWM. My best friend Jefta is starting their launch of their first magazine. So it's called Pewm, Proud of Everything We Make. And it's a publication that's working on centering Black, queer, trans, non-binary creatives that are just, pushing forward and leading for a future where we are creating art that we're proud of and art that is challenging and resisting just centering whiteness and just having to focus on consumerism and things that kind of disrupt just the human emotional art for art's sake. So yeah, this publication is going to be super powerful. I'm already blown away. And yeah, we've kind of had this joke of saying like pew like, taking off or whatever. Yeah, and I'm just really excited about this concept. So that's my favorite music magazine. It's not only about music, it's about art in general, but it's gonna be your favorite too. My current favorite producer. I don't really know. I've been listening to a lot of Dijon recently. I'm pretty sure he just like produces his own stuff and like works with other people. But I love his production. I love his songwriting. It feels very human and very poetic. It's like a score. So I've been loving listening to that. I also love Anna Wise. I think her production's really cool. James Vincent McMorrow, I've been listening to a lot of his production recently. Nova Wave, I've been listening to a lot of her production recently, and or their production. I think it's a Black duo of two women, I believe. Their production's been really cool. Been listening to a lot of that. Yeah, I think that answers the question. Love Bon Iver, love Justin Vernon's production, love Tame Impala. But yeah, I think I've been most recently very heavily into the first people that I listed. Cole Mitchell. Cole is also a producer, also a songwriter, also a performer and musician. But yeah, he's someone that I've worked with on Iridescent and I'm working with on this album that I'm in the middle of. And I think he has a really cool approach to just everything he does in music. It's very personal and it's very purpose driven. I feel like we're leaning away from like being flashy for flashy's sake, but actually getting into what's the bigger message that you're trying to serve and how can we exemplify that through mixing and through sound and through sound designing and through panning and through all these different elements to prosody and just like layers of intention that go beyond just writing a song and just performing it, but actually getting into the process of creating a world and figuring out where you stand in it and where the sound bounces off, the walls in it. And that's something that, yeah, it's just super fascinating. So shout out Cole, the dopest. Yeah, I've just really been loving talking with him about mixing and stuff like that. Current favorite song? That is a good question. Probably Every Time We Say Goodbye by Sarah Vaughan. I've been listening to that a lot. Yeah, I think that answers the question. Or anything Jasmine Sullivan has put out recently also is on that list. What's a song that I wish I wrote? White Ferrari by Frank Ocean. Every time I listen to it, I'm just like, wow, I cannot believe that I did not have the range. So yeah, I think that's a song that is just like, just what a feat, like tremendous, tremendous, tremendous humanity. I love that song to death. I'd probably say I'm proud of all my babies and I want them to know that mom loves you. But I would say I'm probably most proud of Unmoved just because I feel like that's a song that is just so divine, honestly, and so healing and so real and raw. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a song that was art for art's sake and speaking truth for the sake of speaking truth. And yeah, it was one of the most just like human experiences I've ever, 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 ever had in creating. And, I don't mix, but figuring out how to mix. And just, I made it all in this room in my parents' home in Houston. And it was just me and a guitar for hours and hours. And yeah, that song will just always kind of signify a change in intention in my career and a change in, purpose and service and the way that I want my art to connect with people. Dream collab. Stevie Wonder, definitely like top, 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 top dream in this lifetime would be to work with Stevie Wonder. Stevie, if you're listening, please. Please. I will not let you down. I am most fulfilled in healing. That's something that I very recently have been able to kind of acknowledge and also just claim and, speak over my ability to heal and my intention to heal and create art that begins conversations of healing and, bearing truth for truth's sake, not for motive or for, for anything other than just honesty and creating a space in my life through my music where I am healing and I am centering love and I'm centering community and I'm centering unity, but I'm also centering truth and holding space for people to have a reckoning of a sort, There's a lot of spirituality, I think, in what I create and the way that I just approach music and the way that I'm trying to appreciate and respect music and not never believe that I am bigger than music or that the songs that I've written that are powerful are of me. Yeah, and I'm most fulfilled in just hearing from you guys and hearing from people who are impacted by the music and just the amazing, I feel like, testimonies of, of just life and living, and my music getting to be a soundtrack to those moments is just beyond fulfilling. It is a reason to keep going. It is so much to me, and I just really appreciate being able to see in real time that the work that I'm doing and the intentions that I'm setting are connecting with people and are reaching people. So yeah, thank you always. At this very moment, I would love to just continue forward as an independent artist. I think that it's really important for me to create art that is pure and unfiltered and a vessel for love. And I feel like in this capitalist industry, where the main intention is just to make a lot of money and sell a lot of things and encourage consuming for consuming's sake, I think I really want to hang back and focus on art and focus on intention and service and the ways that I can open up opportunity and hopefully transformation through music. So I'm very happy right now being independent, and yeah, I'm very thankful that I'm able to eat off of my music. My career goals are just like infinite growth as a creative, infinite growth as a learner, infinite growth as a storyteller, infinite growth as an experiencer, as someone who is also on this journey. Just infinite growth. That's what I'm looking forward to, is just growing and evolving. That's something that my entire life I've loved change, I've embraced change, and I feel like I know myself best in change. So, yeah, infinite growth. The biggest step that I've taken in 2020 was my first million streams on Unmoved, which is really insane because that came out at the very end of June. So I feel like in such a short span of time for that song to have connected and reached so many people is huge for me, because I think, with my other songs, it's like, it's easy for me to kind of just be like, okay, well, like the numbers are great, but they're just numbers, I need to stay relaxed. Like, but I think a million listens is a million listens. And yeah, when it's a song that's about your experience as a Black woman and your experience in a world that hasn't always held space for you, that is a powerful, powerful moment. So yeah, that's my biggest step this year, and I'm so grateful for it. I am inspired by activists and poets and writers and filmmakers, and dancers. I'm really just inspired by artists, and I'm inspired by life. I guess that life is the ultimate inspiration, just like the experiences that we all have that shape who we are and how we interact with the world, and what we contribute. I think that is so fascinating to me, and also so inspiring. It's like, no matter how bad things get, there is always tomorrow, there is always hope. I think that's something that inspires me too, is just hoping and believing that I can make a better tomorrow. I am most grateful for life. I'm very grateful to be in a position where my ultimate dream, my ultimate purpose, my ultimate joy is also something that in a capitalist world I'm able to pursue as a career, and I'm able to use these gifts of mine to make a way for myself in the world. And I'm very, very grateful that my purpose is aligned with my path, but I think I have other purposes as well. And so I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to learn and evolve. I don't know where I'm going tomorrow, but so far I've made it to here. So I'm very grateful for being here. And I think what makes me truly happy is just peace, just, a space to be myself, food, and the opportunity to do what I love. I think that everyone deserves the opportunity to have a place to lay their head at night, food to eat. I don't, I feel like this pandemic has really revealed just how callous society and our leaders are to humanity and to the things that we all deserve in this world. I feel like the obsession with the economy and with gain and with stocks, it's like people are hungry, people have children, and people are being evicted from their homes, So I think I'm just truly happy when I am able to be peaceful and when I'm able to be engaging in work that makes me feel that tomorrow will be better and that the future will be kinder to me. But yeah, it's very hard to have those true moments of peace. My definition of love is service. I think that when we love deeply and when we love honestly and when we love regardless of what we can gain from loving and from serving, that is where love takes place. I think love is a commitment, it's a vow, it's not an emotion. It's really not a feeling as much as it is a vow and a promise and an endurance, and a willingness to commit and a willingness to show up for someone and love someone through the moments that aren't easy. That's where love starts, is when the honeymoon phase ends and you're still there. You're still, guaranteed and safe in your love. And yeah, that's a really beautiful thing. So that's love to me, is just service. I don't know that I could be the best person to give people advice on their mental health. I think it really varies from person to person. But I would say that, if you have the opportunity to speak with someone, that is always something that, is helpful. But I also think creating a space to, whether it's journaling or whether it's painting or running or, rage room or whatever, but creating space for yourself to release and just get emotions out, because I feel like life is so stressful and intense, and it can be very volatile at times, and you need a steady stream of just release, because emotions that stay in you for too long, it can really change who you are and destroy you. So, yeah, just a healthy flow. Flow, 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 flow. That's a really important thing. What social justice causes am I most passionate about? I am passionate about everything, honestly. I think, yeah, I don't want to restrict my passions in life to one or two social justice issues. I think we all need to be pushing for everything whenever we can, whenever we're aware, whenever we have an opportunity to do so. I feel like having a platform is not the only time that speaking up is important. I feel like anyone who knows me knows that I've been talking. I've been, speaking up about things. And when I was younger, I'm sure it was quite annoying to people, but who cares? Like, there's people in the world that are struggling, and there's people in the world that are not having access to conversations and don't have seats at the table. And, there's layers to this. It's like, as a Black woman, I have privilege in some situations, but in a lot, I don't. And so it's finding a way to use your voice and speaking up when you can, and being willing to learn and being willing to fight for other people, and being willing to just stand against injustice whenever you see it and whenever you're aware of it and wanting to learn. So I feel like in my career, I hope that as I continue forward in the future, that I continue making space for fighting for other people and for uplifting other causes, because I feel like that is literally the only way that we're going to be able to have a future, worth saving and worth fighting for, is if everyone will be there and will have a seat at the table. The most prominent world event was coronavirus this year, goes without saying. I think the world will struggle to recover, but no one's doing as bad as America. And yeah, I think that the American and the Western mentality of selfishness that is reflected in politics and military and, extensions as the police and other aspects of society, where violence is the norm and where service and healing is just foreign. I think that was exemplified to the highest extent this year, not just in America, but with, whether it's in Nigeria with the SARS movement or in India with the protest. People are fighting for humanity, like just for compassion, for any kind of service. Like, it's just so sad the way that greed and capitalism have just corroded like so many human emotions. Like, it's just, I could go on for hours, but that is going to be the main thing that I speak about in my work, is that the biggest challenge I faced in 2020, I don't know. There were so many. I think just life. Like, there were so many facets of difficult things: uncertainty, fear, stress. So much has happened in my personal life this year. I couldn't even get to it all. But I think just finding peace in the midst of it has been my fight. And the most important lesson I've learned is just protecting your space. That's something that has always been really important to me and has always been the main priority of mine, is to have people around me who make me better and who I look up to and who I'm inspired by, and who, are a source of wealth in the richness of their values and morals. So yeah, that has been something that I feel like has been emphasized this year, is just, that is the richness of your life, is who's around you. And if you don't have people who wish you well, you will struggle more than you should. The best thing that happened to me in 2020 was just learning art, and just realizing that just because the industries are going one way does not mean anything. I can create the art I want to create, I can sustain myself off the art that I want to create, and that redefining what success looks like for me has been a really big thing. I think the best thing that happened to me this year has just been the freedom and an understanding of what liberation has to look like in my practice in this industry. And yeah, that has been a really, really positive thing to come out of 2020. What made me laugh the most in 2020? Probably my damn self. I'm funny as hell. It doesn't really come across on interviews. Gotta keep something inside. But it's just been a funny year. There's just been so much absurdity that you're either gonna laugh or you're gonna cry. I think Twitter has gotten me through so much this year. But yeah, I think just like the people around me, we stay laughing, we stay, got to, because there's been a lot of ups and downs. And if I start crying, I'm not going to stop. So I've just been trying to keep a light sense of humor about everything and, just take the good with the bad and look to tomorrow and create a better tomorrow for me and protect my space and just, do what I need to do to make me feel good. So that's what's probably been funniest to me is just life, Twitter, the things that have gotten us all through it. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again next year. Bye.